Blog Talk Radio.
Good place.
I want to say that the work that Dennis Wise has undertaken and accomplished, and the value of this work cannot be underestimated at this time, especially. He has undertaken to present actual information about the most controversial period in human history. We have been given a narrative that has painted a picture, an image for the world to consume. And we have to look at this. The reason this is so important this time for everyone to look at is we have to challenge the lies. Okay, that's one thing right there, just from a moral standpoint. In our time today, it is more than that just a morality. It is a matter of physical survival itself, because we have to look at this period and look at exactly what happened, which Dennis Wise has presented to us in his great accomplishment that he has put together there. We have to look at what happened. Who had power in 1945? It was Stalin, Churchill, and Roosevelt. And what did they do with this power? As a gift, illustrated in his great work, The Greatest Story Never Told. Yes, if you want to see the dangers that are facing the world today, just watch this film. One can see the actual facts, indisputable facts of what really happened at that time.
Alrighty. Here we go. Podcasting here in Greensboro, North Carolina, restoring our republic. Restoring what's left of it anyway. Trying to. Everyone's pretty much talked about everything we're probably going to talk again tonight. Same stories. With Donald Trump and anything else new out there, anybody? I mean, is there anything else new? Because, it's really open phones. I do on Tuesday night, really, and I try to get people to call in. And, the other nights when I don't try to get people to call in, then everybody calls in, because I usually like to play a documentary or something that has to do with the times that we're living today, like the Federal Reserve and, stuff like that. But I'm not going to do that tonight. But I'm saying that's what I usually do. Like for the Memorial Day weekend, I tried to get that World War II documentary in there, and I didn't get it in there in time. At least I got the Vietnam stuff in there so people can reflect. And, and really that shouldn't be just a Memorial Day thing. To always remember the sacrifices of the people that have paid for the freedoms that we're pissing away today. And last night I had a good conversation with Joe from Montana there. I know he's hasn't been around. He's doing his own thing, but him and I spoke for about 45 minutes on the phone, and had a very pretty good conversation actually. So I'm not going to get into too much of it. Some of it's recorded actually, because if anyone knows. Last night I tried doing a podcast after Sally's show, and there was Blog Talk Radio was screwing up. Well, they fixed it about 45 minutes, actually it was about an hour and 15 minutes into the show. So that's the last 30 minutes of the show is in the archives there. So and actually that's when Joe called me and we were talking, and we had a very good in-depth conversation. We started talking about prisons, and I was talking about the inside the prisons, what I saw, and some of the things I had to do to survive and stuff like that. So it was a pretty good conversation. Just because I forgot I was recording. So I actually forgot I was on the podcast because he had called me. So, but anyway, yeah. Anybody who has 657-383-0616, press 1, and we'll. Get you on here and on screen, unedited. You can talk about whatever the heck you want. I would like to see some solutions, or I always like to ask for solutions and a game plan and a strategy so that we can move forward and defend ourselves against this new world order that's being implemented right before our very eyes. And they are really slowly but surely bankrupting us as individuals, destroying us, taking away our rights every day. They're coming after you. If you collect disability or Social Security disability before the age of your retirement age, they are coming after you for reviews right now. They're going to be taking it away from you. I assure you that. They have those 85,000 IRS agents. They're on the prowl. They're attacking people right now as we speak. They are. So they're really going because they're hammering down, and they're coming after us. It's happening. It's happening. You just don't, just because you don't hear about it on your fantasy tube, or your fantasy flat screen there, because your corporate news media is not talking about it in the 6 o'clock news, does not mean it's not happening. Okay, I know if they say it, it must be true. If I say it, you got to question it, right? because that's how it goes. Because they have credibility, and what they say, they always tell the truth. And and we always got to make sure we get the news from them first. So, okay, so but you're not going to hear about that right now. But they are. It's happening right now. They are coming after you, us. They're coming after us, the slaves. Okay. So I was on the Nextdoor app. My Nextdoor, it's a local neighborhood app here, the other day, and I put up a comment. I put on their how did I say it? I said this is what happened after this is what did not happen after the Trump verdict. And I said riots, burning of cities, looting of Dollar Generals. You would be seeing this right about now on the 6 o'clock news if it was the other side that was getting the verdict. And boy, oh boy, did they come after me. The moonbats came loose. They were all loose, but I'm telling you right now, it would be like the Salem witch trials. I would be strung up, tarred and feathered, hung upside down if they can get their hands on me. They were coming after me, these moonbats. Oh, boy, I should read you some of the comments that they wrote. I mean, and sure enough, the comment did not last too long. I violated community standards, and that's my warning, and I could be removed permanently. So, so that's, I violated community standards, and, that's fine. I'm glad I did. I want to, and I want to keep doing it, and I hope they do kick me off. That's what I want to happen. And I was thinking about posting something up there in case there's any local people listening. If I get kicked off, or if anyone else gets kicked off, these neighborhood apps for these they're platforms that you're supposed to be able to go and talk and post things and talk about things and whatnot. If I get kicked off or anyone else does, then I say we all terminate our apps. We shut it down. We don't take part in it no more. All of us. What do you think of the likelihood of that happening? Probably would never happen. But that's what I propose, and I was thinking about typing something up, and I might do that tonight, because I think because we have to stop this. We were talking on these other podcast shows the other night. We're all Trump, Fanny, and we're all talking about what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Well, I just gave you one idea. We've got to start coming together and working together and sticking together with solidarity. Who cares who's a Fed? Who cares if you may go to jail? Who cares? Who cares? We need to stick together. This is our freedom. This is our country. These are our rights. And we're losing everything right before our very eyes. And we've got to stick together. I'm not advocating violence. I'm not advocating anyone to go out and break the law. Okay? What I'm saying is that we need to stick together no matter what the consequences. That's what I'm saying. It's time to knock it off. It's time to stop the infighting. It's stop being anal, retentive, and pertussive about every idea that someone comes up with and analyzing it and ripping it apart so it don't work. We need to just go with the flow and let it roll. Let it go. All right? Let it fly. All right? We've got to do this. We've got to do this. We've got to fight, and stick together, because otherwise, folks, it's over. Pretty much over already, but I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, we can come on these shows for the next 10 years if you want and just keep doing it, saying the same thing over and over and over and complaining, and nothing's going to happen. Okay? So I know, because someone made a comment the other night that I wasn't famous enough because I'm not going to get that. I'm not going to get anything done or whatever. Because we have to have somebody from American Idol up there. We've got to have somebody that's famous. We've got to have talent. We've got to have a showman up there. No, it's the common man, the little guy. Those are the people that are the leaders out there. Not Donald Trump, not the Republican Party. It's us. We the people. We the people. The Republic. We're the government. We're the employers. We're the boss. Okay? Not them. Not them. Always remember that. It's we, not them. We, not them. Okay? And when we're talking on these podcast shows, just a little bit of advice. Just, a little bit. I'm not being critical of anybody else. But let's not drive around the block 10 times while we're making the point. Let's just get to the freaking point when we're talking, and stop repeating ourselves over and over and over and over and over. And finally, we got to say the point and then say it again and again and again. Come on, man. Time. I just like to see time is of the essence right now. We don't have time to waste. I mean, if you don't see this or if you don't feel this way, then I guess I'm wrong. Then I guess, just keep letting things go. And I mean, I guess you're doing okay and you're happy and you don't see anything wrong with the world. And just let's just keep moving, live life, man. Do you. There's my telemarkers in the background. You know, if you hear my phone ringing, they don't stop. 309 calls today. Sons of bitches. All right, let me check my phone boards here, see if anybody wants to talk. I don't know, where the hell's my studio at? Where the hell is it? Oh, there it is. All right, let's see, 657-383. Well, what's this? What's this? Oh, you don't call my show no more. Who's that guy? Why? I can't call your show. Why? Oh, boy, that's, let's see here. Let's see here. 657-383-0616. All right, well, we got a few people on the board, but nobody wants to talk. Okay, that sounds good to me. All right, and if I went and played a documentary, I'd get 20 callers up here, I mean, it's open phones night. Yeah, another thing, too. Everyone, the podcasters here, we're supposed to be sticking together here with our voices and unifying and working together, and none of us are doing that. Last night in the other show, the American Statesman, only a few people showed up. Lori Ann's show, she gets about, a good bunch there in the chat room and whatnot. But I guess you guys like listening to recordings, because that's what she does now, plays recordings. So, Donnie's show is always packed. He's famous, Donnie's there. He's Twitter there. He got 30,000 followers. He's famous. I thought I had a good name out there, but Donnie, boy, oh boy, Donnie, see, he's got a good show there. He's got quite a following. I got to take my hats off to him. Boy, oh boy. Let me see, and then, of course, Friday night there, Conservative Nation Media there with Robert there, his show. He's got a good show. Obviously, and me and Sarge been calling into that show. I remember he didn't have anyone calling in there for a while. Me and Sarge just started calling in and bringing everybody over there. Now he's got a full house all the time, so that's good, because he's got a good platform. Yeah. Anybody study that common law writ idea that I came up with? There about the that me and Sarge were talking about the other night. Anybody come up with any more idea? Anybody investigate it or look into it more? I haven't, but I was thinking about taking the Alaskans' advice there and emailing Trump's lawyers, but I don't have their email. I can't find out who they are. I mean, who are these lawyers? I mean, I can't get their contact info. There's nothing there where I can contact them. If anybody's got their information, put it in the chat room, please. Biden closed the borders, I heard. What's up with that? Anybody got any information on that? Biden shut down the border. What's the repercussions of that? Let me look that up real quick here. Has anybody got any information on that? I heard that Biden shut down the borders. I mean, what's the deal with that? How can he does have the authority to do that? Shut down the border, the southern border. But I mean, what's the repercussions? I mean, what will happen? You think, or is this something? I mean, I don't know what happened. I just saw a thing go across my screen that said he shut down the border. So I don't know what the deal is with that, or if it's true. So if anybody's this site's down now, what's up with that? Oh my Lord. I guess that's down now too. The internet's been acting real screwy lately. I mean, where the sites that you want to access, you can't get to. I'm trying to find out information on the border shutdown. I don't want to go to the mainstream media. I'm trying to go to alternative sources here, but I'm having trouble. Let me see here. Well, I guess I'll go to USA Today. Let me see what they got. Nothing. Nope. Nothing there. Nothing on the front. A lot here. I got something about Alex Jones up here. What's next for Alex Jones? More defamation trials, more damages, and possibly criminal charges? No way. You serious? Criminal charges? What did he do? What did this guy do? Because he reported a story on Sandy Hook, and also now he's a criminal? So a Texas jury ordered Alex Jones to pay more than $49 million in damages to parents of a boy killed in the 2012 Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting in Newtown, Connecticut. The InfoWars founder and host faces 2 more trials to determine damages he and his company, Free Speech Systems, owe families of victims of the massacre. The January 6th committee is also expected to subpoena Jones' cell phone data entered into evidence during the Texas trial. A jury in Austin, Texas, put a price on the death. I thought, wait a second here. I thought when you sued the guy, when they sued him, they had to sue him in the state where it happened. So I thought that would be Connecticut then, or is it vice versa? Well, maybe it's right. Maybe it is in Texas. Thinks that's where Alex Jones lives, I guess. But yeah, a jury in Austin, Texas, put a price on the defamatory behavior of InfoWars. Well, this is good for me in a way, because I'm working on a lawsuit for them, what they did to me. So $49 million, so they got him for $49 million damages awarded to the parents of Jesse Lewis, who was 6 years old, who was among the 20 first graders and 6 educators killed in the shootings in 2012. Oh, that was sad that day, man. What sicko could do such a thing? I mean, to go into a school like that and shoot innocent children. Oh, I mean, what possesses somebody to do that? I mean, even when a sick person, you just can't see it. Oh man, the damages delivered by the jury Friday were less than the $150 million sought by the parents Neil Heslin and Scarlett Lewis, who testified that the conspiracy theorists' false claims that the school massacre was a hoax made their lives a living hell of death threats, online abuse, and the trauma from Jones and his followers. Texas law reduced the damages further, though. So Jones faces 2 additional defamation trials involving Sandy Hook families that could lead to additional damages awarded by juries. Is Biden making a comeback? That's nonsense. All right. Wow. But again, that Sandy Hook thing that happened in 2014, right? That was just I remember that day, because Connecticut's my home state. So I've been in Newtown, Connecticut, thousands of times. I know exactly where that is. And it's a small town, but I just can't believe those kids, man. And I don't even really want to talk about it. But it's disgusting. How a human being could do that to children. I mean, you just gotta. It makes you wonder. It's so bizarre and so hateful that. And then, it makes you say, well, how could this happen? I mean, how could someone do something like this? But it's just despicable. Man, that's pretty much when you say you saw it all. I mean, with that type of murder, it's just, oh man. Again, I'm just getting goosebumps thinking about it. And I've seen violence in my day, and I've seen some horrific stuff. I participate in a lot of stuff actually. So but it just goes to show you that there's 2 different types of elements here. I was in with a bunch of animals, trying to kill each other, but this has to do with innocent children. A first grader is so innocent. They have no hate in their hearts. They've done really nothing wrong in their lives, and you're ripping their life from them. And in a way that is just so horrific, and we say, well, you've had towns get blown up during wars and everything. Okay, but what I'm saying is this is in a classroom, in a classroom where they're pinned down and you're hitting them with a single bullet, and it's just and the damage a 223 does. I mean, man. People out there, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're that type of person that doesn't think or about that, and it doesn't hurt you to think about something like that, and I know a lot of people, they don't care, they turn the other way, and their hearts are hardened today. They have no compassion, or even to remember something like that, to pay tribute. No matter, even if it's not just that incident, all the many acts of violence throughout our country's history, if it doesn't bother you as an American citizen, then when we talk about these types of issues, then really, I don't consider you an American. I consider you something else, and you should just, you're not my brother. You're not my fellow patriot, and you just go someplace else. Because, and that's what we really need to do in America, folks. We really got to start weeding out what the bad apples are. I'm not saying put people in isolation camps and do, and torture. No. What I'm saying is there is going to be different ways where we're going to have to isolate these people somehow, some way, and separate. Because we can't have a cancer if we were able, God willing, to restore our republic and make a foundation or bring back this country to some sort of normalcy again. If we were able to do that, then we would have to work very hard at making sure that cancer never grows again. Now, we'll always have evil. We'll always have bad actors, and we'll always have that bad guy out there. We don't call him the devil, whatever you want to call it. But you always have evil out there trying to make its way in into the room. And we have to make sure that we are diligent and we do our due diligence and fight it off or resist it as much as possible. And the key to doing that is education. Education and having a moral compass instilled in our younger youth so they grow up with that foundation and they can build off of it in a positive way. So this way here, because if you have no foundation growing up, and it's made out of, your foundations are made out of sand, and you just can't build anything on sand. So that's going to stay level and stay strong. So that's one of the keys right there to success when we restore this republic, is to keeping our foundation strong. And that's what I'm looking for here tonight, folks. I'm looking for answers and solutions to these problems. I don't want to hear complaints. I don't want to hear gossip. I don't want to hear back and forth, self-narcissism. I want answers. I want to say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about, over here? And it doesn't have to direct you. You could be giving advice to other people across the country, because we're all got to help each other. We all have to motivate each other, push each other, and bring each other together, somehow, some way, to build this republic back up. Because right now we're pretty much destroyed. We are, whether you like it or not, whether you admit it or not. We're in bad shape right now. You cannot get a fair court hearing, and everyone knows that now because of Trump. But I've known this for years now. This has been going on in the American court system for a long time. They stacking charges, malicious prosecution. Stacking charges on people. Wrong. That's not what this has been going on for quite some time, folks. So this is nothing new. But I'm glad that people are able to wake up now and see it. Because when they do it, because people are saying that they could do it to Trump, then they could do it to me. They've been doing it to you for a while, but I'm glad people are starting to realize this now. The jury instructions the judge gave the jury. What a joke, man. You can't do that. That's not lawful. That's not how it's supposed to be done, folks. Oh, Lord. And a jury of his peers. Let's have a jury of your peers. People just don't understand a republic, what a republic is. What have you done for us? We've given you a republic. If you can keep it. That's what was said. And we haven't been able to. And when Tocqueville came over here, he wanted to know why America was so righteous. What's going on here? Why is America doing so well? And he studied and saw what we were doing, and we've broken away from those tools or using the tools or even the church, right down to the church. Remember Sunday morning, everything was closed until about noontime. Down here in the South, everything was closed. You couldn't go out. You couldn't go shopping in the stores at the mall. Everybody's at church. Don't got that anymore. You can even buy beer now on Sundays here. At least in Connecticut, they still got the 8 o'clock cutoff time, and you can't buy beer after 8 p.m., and they don't sell it on Sundays up there. At least they still got that. You can't buy liquor. They got liquor stores. They got package stores, they call them. They call them package stores. Down here in North Carolina, they call them ABC stores. So, I don't know where they call them out in California. I don't know, drunk dens, homeless shelters. Anyway, anybody want to join in here tonight? There's your 657-383-0616. I got a pretty good board here. I don't see anybody putting their hands up. Now's the time to do it. And give me some talking points here, and bring some suggestions to the floor. Bring some subjects. Hang on. I'm trying to call my cell phone. Hello. I don't know who this person is. I forget. Is that Mike? Is that you, Mike? I just said hi. All right. I see American Statesman's in there. That's good. I really didn't put the word out for the show here tonight too well. Did InfoWars get shut down, Mike? I don't see InfoWars up and running anymore. I just tried Googling them about a half an hour ago, and I couldn't get nothing. And I heard they were shutting down InfoWars, so because they're coming after us, they're clamping down, man. What's going on with the border, guys? What's going on with the border? Did Biden really shut down the borders? I'm trying to get information on that. What does that mean when I don't understand that. He shut down the borders. What does that mean? What does that entail? Or did he do it temporarily? I don't understand. What that exactly means. I'm going to try Googling it now here. And, what I got a thing that said breaking news, and it says Biden shut down the border. Here it is now. There's Alex Jones stuff popping up here. Judge rejects call to immediately shut down Alex Jones. All right, well, how come his site's not up? Breaking news. Here we go. Let's see here. No, see, I'm not getting nothing. It says verifying you are a human. Never done this to me before. Oh, there it goes. Okay. All right. Let's see. Nothing on the border here. Trump takes bat to Biden's weak and pathetic border security order. Well, okay, here it is. Let's see what we got here. Trump takes, damn advertisements, man. Alex, you got to stop this crap, Alex Jones. Trump takes back to Biden's weak and pathetic border security order. Will actually make invasion worse. Says Joe Biden's executive order comes too little too late after he effectively surrendered control of the southern border to human traffickers and will likely increase illegal immigration, former President Donald Trump said Tuesday. Trump tore into Biden's declaration saying the order is effective and was only done so he can brag about it during the debate later this month. Truth is that Joe Biden's executive order won't stop the invasion. It will take the invasion worse. We recently learned Biden is secretly granting mass amnesty to hundreds of thousands of these illegal aliens, along with welfare, government benefits, work permits, and jobs. So that's what Trump says. Crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in history of our country by far, has totally surrendered our southern border. His weakness and extremism resulted in a border invasion like we have never seen before. Other countries have emptied out their prisons and insane asylums and mental institutions and sent us drug dealers, human traffickers, and terrorists. Millions of people have poured into our country, and now, after nearly 4 years of this, his failed, weak leadership, pathetic leadership, crooked Joe Biden is pretending to finally do something about the border. But, in fact, it's all about show because he knows we have a debate coming up in 3 weeks. The truth is that Joe Biden's executive order won't stop the invasion. It's weak and it's pathetic. Millions of people a year, he says. When I was president, we built over 500 miles of border wall, stopped the flood of criminals, and we had the safest border in the history of our country. I don't know about that, guys, what he just said right there, Donald Trump. We had the safest border in the history of this country. That's a powerful claim to make. And I ain't buying it. No, I can't say that's true, guys. I'm sorry. I gotta get a drink of water real quick. Oh man. We need to secure our border once and for all. Crooked Joe will never get the job done. He doesn't want to get the job done. It's just words and misinformation because he could have done it very easily. All he had to do is say, close the border. That's the power of the presidency. But when I'm elected, it will be my top priority. Well, Trump, why didn't you do that? Why didn't you say close the border when you were president? He didn't do that. He didn't do that now, right? So, I don't know, guys. He's Trump there. He's really starting to get me pissed off, actually. It's a horrible thing that's happening all over the world. Many places, many countries. We're not going to let it continue. We're going to get them out. We're going to bring our country back to safety. We're going to make America greater again, America great again than ever before. Thank you very much. Biden's executive order was roundly criticized on social media, with many pointing out he purposely weakened the border security when he reversed Trump's actions, had stemmed illegal immigration. So, what did Biden do here? Here it is right here, right? Is this what he did here? No, this was Saturday's speech. Reminder, Biden took 94 executive actions in his first 100 days to dismantle border security. Then Saturday and watched 15 million illegals flow in. So on the first day in office, Biden signed an executive order to defund the wall and to terminate the border emergency. He also froze deportations that day, then eliminated the remain in Mexico policy. Don't buy the election season spin. Open borders was the plan. Okay, yeah, we know that. I'm not tricking anybody here. It still allows 1.8. Biden's order crackdown is a freaking joke. It says it still allows 1.8 million illegals per year and deports a grand total of 0. Not one illegal out of the 15 million he's already let in will be deported under his plan. Shut the border, he said. Shut the border down. This is Biden's announcement today. Does nothing to secure the border. This is from Greg Abbott. It actually authorizes 2,500 aliens to cross illegally and provides an enticement that will attract even more illegal immigrants. He's just trying to hoodwink Americans. All right, so it's all bullshit. It's all lies again. All right, hang on. All right. Let me check my phone boards here. My screen went blank there. That's why I went dead for a minute. All right, here we go. We got a caller here. 2 callers, 3 callers. Oh, good. All right, 225, you're on first.
Hello, this is Mike.
Yeah, I know the number.
This is bullshit. This whole thing about him securing the border is bullshit. Because if he is to get reelected, he's gonna reopen it up anyway. So it's bullshit. You know?
Yeah, I know, but don't you? But he's kind of scaring off his voters there from the illegal immigrants, don't you think? I mean, that are here already. I mean, when these Mexicans, Biden sent the border, you know, you can hear him talking now in Spanish, you know.
No, they're going to vote for him anyway. It doesn't matter what he does. The ones that are already here, they're going to vote for him anyway.
Well, maybe you're right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not out there listening to Scuttlebug, so I'm a political prisoner in my home. So I don't know. You know what I mean? I mean, you don't think they're gonna? I mean, I don't know. What's the word out there on the streets? You know, I mean, these illegals, they're gonna still support him no matter what. Joe Biden. I mean, I always thought they kind of supported Trump in a way because the job market. You know.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. In my opinion,
I don't know. I just don't know about this. All I know is what I feel like. This whole thing about him doing this is bullshit. He's just you know, he's going to reopen it up anyway because they want these illegals here.
No, I agree with you there.
That part of the Uniparty wants them here. All right, that is what that is, right?
No, I agree with you 100% on that. But have you heard anything about the trial? Has his lawyers done anything?
All I know is they're waiting. I guess they're waiting. They can't do anything until the sentencing, I guess.
Yep.
In terms of trying to get things done, but they're waiting to see what. Okay, I know they're trying to move the thing, and then if they move the convention up to July 4th.
Oh, move the
right?
convention up. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
when is the convention? What date is the convention?
It was supposed to have been after when was the sentencing supposed to be? About the 13th? Somewhere a couple days after the 13th?
Yeah, July 13th.
Of July.
Yeah.
So they were going to move it up because they know that if he gets sentenced, he won't be able to go and accept live. You know.
Yeah. If they put him in jail,
here's the other thing about the sentence. They don't want him going out there and campaigning, so it's not going to be him getting an ankle bracelet because they know that if he does that, he can zoom in from the Trump Tower.
Well, listen, if they give him an ankle bracelet, right, it doesn't mean you're detained to your house because you can go, you could travel around. You just got to be in at certain times. You know what I mean? So at least that's what they put me on an ankle bracelet once, and I was able to do whatever the hell I wanted. You know, I just had to be in by 8 o'clock at night. You know, so you know.
The point is he can't leave the state. That's what they want.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
they can't leave the state. And where's the convention going to be? It's going to be in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So
no, you're right.
So, like I said, now that's not going to stop. I'm pretty sure that Trump Tower has some sort of ballroom or something like that he can go in there, set up a camera.
Oh yeah.
And zoom into that convention, right? You know.
Yeah, but listen, like Sarge was saying the other night, he has a way with a crowd. You know, he has that persona when he's you know, because I've been to his rallies before, and when he's there mingling with the people or he's speaking, the energy of I don't know if anybody, you know, how many people have been to Trump rallies that are on the phone here tonight, but I've been to a couple of them, and when he's there, the crowd is energized. You could feel it. I mean, there's a good positive momentum, you know.
That's the other thing. They know that there's positive momentum when he's there. They know that.
Yeah.
And that's why they're trying to get him to not be able to be there personally, live.
But you hear people saying that, you know, well, you know, look, there's two sides of this. People are saying, they're saying either he's compromised and he's sold out, or he's going to be sold out because they're threatening him. Because I wouldn't put it past them threatening him, or I wouldn't put it past him possibly working for them. I don't know. You know, you think he's lying? I mean, it'd be kind of hard to put an act on the way he is for so long like this and go through all these trials and be arrested. That's kind of a big stage to freaking take a chance at pulling a false flag on that, you know? I mean, they really did arrest him. You know, they really did book him, you know? It was a phony trial, but it was rigged. But I've been to rigged trials, you know? So, I don't know. You don't know what the hell to believe anymore.
They can't. The thing with this is what gets these people mad is that his poll numbers went up after he got his first mugshot, right, down there in Atlanta. His poll numbers went up. His poll numbers and support went up after he lost his Star Chamber trial in New York. All right? His poll numbers went up after that.
Yeah. So they say.
Everything they do to him, his poll numbers keep going up. Now, you know, I don't trust the polls at times, but again, I've said it before. This thing about when they say 25% of African Americans, blacks, are going to vote for Trump. Now, usually I wouldn't trust that, but again, this is extraordinary times, right? And these
you
people
can't
are
trust
seeing,
anything, you know, you don't know what to believe.
Seeing, particularly the African American and Hispanic community, that are two huge parts of the Democratic coalition. They're seeing Trump as what's happening to Trump as what's been happening to their communities, where he's not getting a fair shake. The law is against them. It's crooked. It's lawfare. It's against them. He's not getting a fair shake, and they see a lot of him themselves in him, their communities in him. So if these polls are saying 25% African American, and it's the polls that we see, these push polls, what are the actual interiors interior polling saying that could it be that it's not just 25%, it's conservatively maybe 30%, maybe 35% of the African American community, for him, or
we don't
40% of the. We don't know. That's what I'm saying. We don't know. And that's the thing.
Mike, let me bring on the conversation here. 330. He wants to jump in here with us, so let's bring him in here too. All right, go ahead there, 330. We're on with Mike.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are we doing? Well, let's ask this question. Has he recanted his statement as far as the Noahide laws go, and that if you are against Israel, you should be put to death? Nope.
I never heard that. Do you have a copy of that video? I'd like to play that.
Absolutely. I'll send it to you. Absolutely, because, he's listen, one way or another, it doesn't matter, because you got a guy that supposedly upset him in the last election and didn't even come out of his basement. Now he's going to come out of his basement and he's going to get more votes than they're going to say, but yet we haven't done a damn thing to fix the voting system.
We haven't fixed the election
from the last time. So how are you going to beat this guy now? He's already up one on you because he's going to come debate with you. And you know why? Because he's got a felon to point the finger at. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And they haven't.
And there are a lot of Zulus out there. Yeah, there's a lot of zombies out there. He's a felon. Ooh, I can't vote for him.
And it's. I just don't understand why. There's no logic in thinking that you can vote this out and change it, because they haven't done anything to fix what was already broken. None at all. I mean,
that's important about the election integrity.
That is very important.
We have not done nothing to fix it.
Nothing. I haven't seen any type of actual. You would think the broadcast on the news would be, hey, we're going to get this fixed in this state. And not one single state has done anything to change anything. If not, they've probably gotten worse.
Yeah. No, I got to agree with that.
That is. That's the mind-boggling thing to me, is that they haven't tried to fix the system, that they know it's broke, or that so many people claim that. Now I look at it like, hey, if you want to play the odds, if Joe Biden comes out of the basement one time to debate, that's more than he did last time, and he put a whooping on him like it was yesterday's news. You can't win. I mean,
I asked everybody,
narrative, right? If you go by the same narrative, it's a repeat.
I asked everybody for solutions, Dave, and Mike. I asked for solutions. That's what I was asking for. Can we get some freaking solutions and some answers and like some ideas to get motivated with us out here? I mean, even you, me, whatever. I know maybe you can't do much. Maybe you can. I don't know everybody's personal situation, but you know what? What can we do?
I sent you that city council meeting I was in, didn't I? Did you hear that? Listen to it.
What's that?
I called. I did that call down there, and because we had here in Akron.
I don't think it's
I sent it to you. Yeah, check your what's that hell is it? Facebook Messenger thing. You'll hear my talk to the city council, because it's pretty good. Get 3 minutes. You can't. I needed 3 hours. It's crazy.
You're in Ohio,
we had 27. Right? Yeah, we had a 27 person shootout, where actually 27 people were shot. One died, and it's only 4 minutes away from me. Literally 4 minutes.
Wow. Now my question to you, Tate, is this: I saw earlier this year or last year, whatever it was, that the Ohio enshrined the abortion in their state constitution somehow. Now my thing is, I'm a pro-life guy, but again, how'd that happen? If that's a red state, how'd that happen? It was the Democrats that. Yeah, go ahead.
You got rhinos left and right, and the worst thing is they focus on the abortion issue in the mainstream to talk about Ohio, but what they don't tell you is what these rhinos have done is they've laid in bed with the Democrats, with the electric company and the gas company and the water company, and they just had a bunch of them get busted, something like $17 billion that they embezzled, and they all got nailed on it. Now they're all starting to point fingers, but you don't hear about that at that level. But they're all in bed together over here. The swine, that's what I call him, the swine. He's a pig. And, during COVID, that guy, I brought that up with Mike a long time ago. I said, here was a guy that's running our country or our state, and he's going out of state collecting money for a semi-pro baseball team in a park that he owns, and did a whole sham on getting money for the, everything you could just do criminally, he did.
Okay, I think I got your public comment up. Public comment. I think it's 3 minutes long.
Yes, that's all I'm allowed. Maybe 3 minutes and 20 seconds or something.
All right, guys, this is Cave at the public. Yeah, I'm going to play it for everybody. Yeah, this is Cave at the, where was this now?
Akron City Council meeting on Monday.
Cave at the City Council meeting. Here we go.
The Jews did it. Of over 15 to 20 videos, flyers, information and facts provided, and documentation with receipts for anything anybody wants to question.
Oh, and that's the wrong one, Joe.
Stop and take time to look at each one of these flyers and pay attention to what you're watching, because it's happening to us every day in every aspect of our life. The Jews did it, and they must be held accountable.
Joe, that's the wrong one. That's the video.
Man.
That was the one I made for YouTube. Yeah, there's one that's got.
All right. Well, where is it? 'Cause I don't see it. It's not here. You didn't send it to me.
Let me see. Let me make sure I
got.
you. Yeah, because it's only 3 minutes. Because you hear a guy trying to say my name. He goes, "I think I'm going to mispronounce this." And I'm like, "Yeah, you are, you jackass." Hang on a second. I'll find it. You guys don't talk for a second.
Yeah. So I'll play it on live on the air.
You talk about the swine. Cade, you talk about the swine and what he's possibly doing. But here's the deal: he's trying. Because remember this. What's his name? Biden has missed the ability to get on the ballot in Ohio. Now the swine wants to help him get on the ballot. Now you tell me.
Wait a second, Biden's not on the ballot?
No. Not here.
What?
I don't understand how they're doing that kind of stuff. That just doesn't make much sense. The current president isn't getting.
It's not the state of Ohio.
Other than the party doesn't want him on,
Democrat,
right? The Democratic Party don't want him on there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
that's odd.
That's another thing. That's like with this city here in Akron has a 32-year-old Muslim mayor now, and his only thing is to get into office like he has and get the position of mayor now, so where he can actually, bump up and go up into Washington and be another Tashida Aliba, or whatever the hell that raghead's name is. That's all they're doing. They're using our local as stepping stone to get up to the higher powers, because this Muslim has absolutely no business at 32 years old. He hasn't even got his diaper wet yet in Akron, where he did this past weekend with 27 people shot. Good God.
Good.
Yeah, this is. They're all together.
Get it?
I think they all sit at the Last Supper table together and eat. I think it's honest to God.
You look at all these, Cincinnati and Cleveland and Akron and all these.
Oh, I've never been to Ohio, but that riot there they had, that was pretty rough. I've seen videos of that. That was crazy.
They have.
Well, LeBron James is from here, and that's the only reason it put him on the map for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
LeBum, I call him LeBum James. Him and his whore mother.
Yeah. So you find the video or no?
Yeah, I'm sending it to you now.
All right. So this is the city council one you're going to send me from Monday.
Yeah.
You spoke to the city council there. That's pretty good. I mean, more than what other people are doing. At least you're out there being active, man. They can't criticize you for that. I mean, hey, at least you're out there speaking to these criminals in office and doing what trying to at least get the plant seeds out there so people can. But you got some freaking winners in your area.
So yesterday I go and I get to talk to them. But what you don't hear about is what's going on all over the country is the limitations that they're putting on everybody. You used to get 5 minutes, and then if 50 people showed up and wanted to talk about a topic, all 50 people spoke. Well, not anymore. They limit each night to 10 people, and you only get 3 minutes.
That's
and
not
you can't
right.
speak for another 30 days after that.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. Talking about unconstitutional. How are you supposed to bring your grievances?
You ain't shitting. Yes, it's unconstitutional. It's happening all over the place with city council stuff. It's a big thing that's shutting down. Because everybody's starting to come out and say, hey, they're calling them out for what it is. You guys are a bunch of criminals. And they don't want to hear it. They shut them down right away. So that's what they've done. It sucks.
Man,
if you give me 3 minutes to talk, I can talk for 3 days straight and not miss a beat.
Oh, we believe that.
Give me no shit. I ain't gonna lie. And I'm thinking 3 minutes. Man, I wrote a bunch of stuff down, and I thought, you know what? I threw the paper down. I said, the hell with it. I'm just gonna go right off the cuff, and whatever I say, I say. If I offend them, but I was actually pretty decent about it. And you hear the room get quiet when I start talking.
Really?
It's still coming. It's still downloading.
These people in that thing. These people in that thing learned from what happened in the school board meetings in Virginia, where all these people were showing up because of the CRT and all that stuff, and they want everybody that showed up want to speak, and they said, well, we can't handle this, so we're gonna learn to keep people quiet. We gotta, take away people's times and only have them a certain amount of people speaking and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're doing. They learned from those school board meetings in Virginia.
Yeah, well, I think it was Loriana said it the other night, or I don't know, somebody did, about the, Trump verdict. There was no Dollar General burnt down. There was no, riots or anything like that. And I posted that on the Nextdoor app, and they went berserk. Man, they went berserk. I mean, I'm going to see if I can pull it up, the old post, because they banned it. They kicked me off, actually. So, but they you should see the comments from these moonbats, man. They went just totally nuts. They started attacking me left at January, and that main thing that they were bringing up was January 6th. So that was the main thing that they kept attacking me with. I guess you must have forgot January 6th, huh? Let's see here. Yeah, they still got it down.
Now,
Let me
Joe.
see if I can. All right, I think I do got it. All right, hang on. We'll play yours then.
I think it's 3 minutes.
All right, let's
51.
Pull it back up here. Yeah, all right, let's see here. All right, we're going to play this here. This is Tave. Let's see here. Okay, let me see here. It's the bottom one, right? The last one you sent me, right?
Yeah.
It says censored?
You'll see like a podium and stuff that's sitting there, because I'm on Zoom when I had to call them.
All right.
So.
All right.
You'll hear the guy talking. He's real quiet at first.
Hey, how you guys doing? I live on 129 West Walton Street, and I'd like to address the fact that the gentleman in front of me just spoke on money being changed and moved around, and there's a question I have to rise about the FEMA and the flooded homes over in this area, because apparently the money's all dried up and there's not enough taken care of. And the civil engineering department is responsible for our homes and the sickness that we're going through over here, and we're still struggling with it. And it's very disheartening. And the property taxes go up, and then they do an assessment on the streets. Now, if they're going to tear the houses down, why are they going to repave these streets? It's just, we're wasting money here again. And in light of it all, I'm going to sell my house and leave Akron because of it. Because I can't afford to have a 35% increase in my taxes. My water bill go up because the water department decided to, or had an accident, and they were going to get a fine from the EPA. So in order to pay for their fine, they raised the taxes on us, and then FEMA bails them out on this over here. It's just, I don't know. All my life I've been here in Akron, grown up. I'm an American. I'm a patriot. I believe in everything that we're doing, and we're having problems everywhere in the world, but this has to change in Akron. And being a sanctuary city is another thing. I don't understand that. When the border, the southern border is so, we're being invaded. We're under attack, and people think it's a joke. And invite the same people that are coming into this country illegally is beyond me.
I don't understand that one to begin with. And I don't support Israel, and I don't support Ukraine, because we have our own problems here. We have homeless veterans. We have enough problems in this city, as we can see from this past weekend, because people aren't held accountable for the things that they do, and it's gotten so out of control that it's awful to go out of town and do work. And, oh, you're from Little Detroit? That's what this town's called now, Little Detroit. It's a joke to people. You know, the gentleman earlier today was talking about the soapbox derby. I did that. Absolutely. It's a phenomenal thing. But you can't expect people to come here and have to deal with what's happened this past weekend and on and on and on. I mean, and God bless the Akron Police Department, because they don't get enough praise. These guys go out with a target on their back, all the first responders. Hats off to you guys, because you don't get to hear it enough, because you do the job to let everybody sit here and do the thing that they get to do. I appreciate it. I yield.
There you go.
Well, they got I got 2 phone calls from the city director today and another lady. I'm not even calling her back unless I call her to tell her to go F off, because she wants to know why I'm praising there's this, it's called the Urban Area something League, and why I praise the Akron Police Department. And I want to go throat punch her, because, you know, these people take for granted that the people that actually have put their lives on the line during the day, that everything we neglect, we just overlook. And until you have 27 people shot in your neighborhood, or you have a home invasion that a judge might be involved in, or a carjacking, you know, that's the only way Washington, D.C. realized what was going on with how violent things have gotten, because one of them senators or congressmen literally got carjacked. I mean,
I think, Dave, you're trying to address too many issues in 3 minutes. I think you'd be better off and more sound if you stuck to one and pounded them at one issue. You know what I mean? Or one or two or three issues. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. Because you know what? I didn't even get to address the flooding at my house. That's the most aggravating thing of all, because the city actually the civil engineering department broke a line, and it caused a low-lying area where I live, and I'm on a dead-end street, and the water abuts my property, and it goes for 2.5 miles now, 14 feet deep all the way across, and they've turned it into the Everglades. They call it the West Wildick Road Wetlands Project. But that water is right against the foundation of my house. You know, what they did was they turned around and went to FEMA. FEMA deemed it a national disaster, so they bailed them out. They were going to give them money, $1.something million, to buy up some houses and property, because they have to tear these houses down. My house is the first one that has to be torn down, and they've already run out of money, and mine's still standing. They run out of money. They only tore down 5 other houses. Where's all the money at?
No.
You embezzling bricks?
Yeah.
That's what they've done.
Yeah.
You know, they started road projects. You know, they're paving the roads in front of my house that they're going to tear down, charging you that in your taxes. But what do you already know that the EPA come in and said, hey, the water's going to claim this up to probably the next block up. So all the houses down this line have to be sold or bought by the city. That was the agreement they were having.
So where are you going to move to now? Do you have an idea, though?
I might just buy a motor. Hey, I'm going to buy a motorhome, I think. I'm going to buy me a big pusher and another 24-foot enclosed trailer. I'm going to put my Corvette inside it and my motorcycle, and I'm going on tour.
Oh, there you go. Nothing wrong with that, man.
I'm going to be like the presidential campaign on the road. I'll get a big bullhorn put on the top of it, and I'll paint that thing up on the, Mike saw my National Militia truck. I had all done up because I do vinyl lettering and that stuff. But, I just thought about, I think I'm going to buy a camper. I'm going to buy a big dually and a full-behind camper just in case the shit hits the fan regardless, so I can boom, go.
I've seen movies from back in the day, back in the 50s and 60s, where you have these like ice cream truck type things that have bullhorns on them, and they're promoting, politicians and things of that.
Well, you think about that. They drive through the neighborhood, and that's how all the kids come out. They hear all that noise coming from them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a good idea, actually, for campaigning. That's a good idea.
I think some people still do it.
Joe, you're right. Cave addressed multiple issues in that clip. Multiple issues.
And I talk slow, too.
Yeah. those issues, Dave, aren't just issues that affect just, Akron. They affect
no.
Cleveland, Cincinnati, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Houston, Miami. Look at all
one
these.
thing you didn't hear out of my mouth, and lo and behold, because I got to wait 30 days if I make it that long, I didn't say Jew.
Yeah,
I didn't
know.
say it, I didn't even get it. Well, see, that's the thing. They fire if you watch these city council thing, because you know who HT is, Joe.
Yeah.
There's a group that's on there that's on his platform on that TV or that whatever the heck they call that platform that they're on, Goyim TV. But they're called City Council Death Squad, and these guys are the ones that have all the flyers, and they can talk so fast and so clear. I don't know how they do it, and they call in all across the country, and they name the Jew. They put, they give you the slave trade thing. They give you the COVID stuff. They give you and they run through it like they can do it blindfolded. It's unbelievable for 3 minutes. But that's where I started to see all these cities just shutting it down, because they know.
Yeah.
Eventually, 109 other countries did it.
Well, they start shutting down. Well, that's what I'm saying. If things were to jump off and the economy was to collapse or to do some kind of reset and they pull the dollar or whatever have you, they're going to have the fusion centers set up. Walmart's, all the shelves are on wheels, most of the aisles anyway. So they can wheel them right out and put the beds in there.
Well, they call them camps, right?
Yeah. Fusion centers, that's what I always thought they called them. But regardless, they're death camps, and they get us in there and, or people from the cities, they're going to have to go in there and because, where are you going to get your food at? Where are you going to go? Food line's going to be closed. Or for your local grocery store, that's closed down.
We can look at the past riots. We can look at the past incidents that happened, like in Portland or whatever. You have people rioting and burning down their own city. And if you have a water crisis, these people are smart enough to go in and steal TVs, VCRs, cell phones, shoes, and whatever else, but will walk right down the water aisle on the way out and not grab 1 gallon of water when there's a water crisis when they do all that shit anyway.
Yeah.
That's the intelligence level.
Yeah. Let me bring on Joe here. I think it's 323 here. Let me bring him on. He's been a while since he's checked in with us all. I think this is him. Hello?
Yeah, this is him. Yep.
Yeah,
I came because, hey people, I came because I saw the show's title where does anybody have any answers? So I thought I'd call in and find out if anybody does.
No. We want them.
You got to go down to City Council and yell at everybody.
Yeah, well, same old. Okay, all right. Business as usual.
We've come to a Y in the road, I think, Joe. That's what it is. I think we're at a Y in the road, and we don't know what to do. And if we go left, what happens? If we go right, what happens? Or do we stand here and we just wait for them to show up at our house? I mean, I'm not waiting, but if they show up, they're in deep shit. But I don't know what can we do. And I mean, I've sat and thought about this because this conversation's come up every other day with us in this little circle or whatnot.
Yeah, well,
it's just hard to figure it out.
Yeah, well, yesterday Sally had a show and she put Cameron on and they were starting to talk about. I think they were starting to talk about solutions. Again about what we have to do and stuff. That's when I left. And then I sent Sally and Nia a text saying, well, why don't you continue on with the conversation you had with Karen and get people together if you can, because people don't know the answers by themselves. People should brainstorm, right? I said that in the text. I said people should brainstorm. So those who want to get together, if Sally wants to do it or somebody else wants to do it, why not? Let people come together, talk about it, because individually, I know I'm a libertarian, but if you guys know other libertarians, every libertarian thinks that they can save the world all by themselves. I don't think that. I think it takes a concerted effort.
Hey, Joe, I was just telling these guys, I think all over the country you have some people, like myself and other places, where they actually are going to go speak out at their city council meetings. Well, now that they've limited, like they've done here, that outspokenness, we need to find another outlet because, like you said, a flashbang in the sky that everybody would look at and see. One sentence. If you could put up one sentence where it would change everybody's, get their mind going, get something instilled in their mind. They'd say, hey, what is that? Let me look into that. That's what we need. We need an uh-oh moment to get everybody to look into this, what's going on, and then so everybody looks at it because, like you said, there's so many people sitting in the dark.
Well, we've got people here in BTR, even people that we don't know or host, and just invite them to come over to a show. Okay, that's my last suggestion on this topic.
What if there was a platform where you said, let's say you get, how many callers do you usually, let's say tonight's show, was there maybe 6 of us? 7,
I got 9 callers. I got 9 callers right now.
So if you set up and put through BTR, you guys could say, Joe would say, on next Tuesday, we're going to have a platform that's going to have this as a topic, and here's what's going to happen. You're going to be invited. You're going to get 3. You're going to have other Joe moderate it or ask any questions. You know how you guys like. He likes to do that, but do it just like city council's doing. Give everybody 3 minutes, and if they don't call, put a name by their list or a check mark by their name, and just know that they're not even trying to participate to help. So when it does happen, you go to the end of the line unless you got something brilliant, but. See, I don't know if you could even do it then. How can you get the attention of people to do that? That's the thing. I think we need to blimp the blow.
What do you think of that idea, Joe? That's a good idea. What do you think?
I think it is a good idea. Whoever wants to go along and invite the people to come to, not your show, Joe, somebody else's show, because you play clips.
Right, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Let's do it somebody else's show. All right? I'll be the moderator.
Break it up into 2 separate parts. First half as you call in and you give and then in the back half of the show you talk about what was brought up.
Well, you did. We kind of did that on a Robert's show on one of the Friday shows on Robert's show, where you were the moderator, Joe. I'm talking about the other Joe, not Joe Gibson, the other Joe. You were the moderator between, I believe it was Sarge or somebody.
It was Lorianne's show.
It was Lorianne's show.
Yeah, Lorianne's, and she let me take over, and I made sure everybody stayed in line. Yeah, because that's what you need.
That's what has to happen, too. You got to do that, Joe, because if it turns into a shit show where somebody calls in from, whatever, the Black Experience or anything else and other people, they just say,
exactly.
Right, they rail right down the dark hole.
And you see, this is what's going to happen with this debate. When this debate happens, that debate's going to be a shit show.
Yeah.
All right.
If it even goes off all the way, I don't even know if they'll get it all the way done with the kind of responses they might have out of people. They might just lose their ever-loving mind up there. Get rowdy.
Well, who's going to want to volunteer to go to the other shows? Guys, we can either go off and go off into another direction, or we can continue on this to try to find out how to mastermind. Okay, so where do you want to go? You want to go off another direction, or do you want to try to take on this particular change?
I like what you're talking about. I like that idea. Go to another show, Joe. I think have you moderate. Maybe Lorianne might be interested in doing it on her show. Because she likes to talk for a long time. Maybe give her that 1 hour, and then then bam, everybody goes boom, boom, boom. You moderate at the end, the last hour,
What about the 5 or 6 or 7, 9 of us here? Why don't we all just make it a point to contact each other once a day and figure out whose show that night, and we're all calling in.
Well, we'll start with Lorianne's next week.
Do what we're doing with like you want with Lorianne's thing, and like Joe want to do. But why not just go and talk? I'm not saying take over the show, but just make our presence know why we're there and what we're trying to figure out.
No, that's taking over the show. If Lorianne says we can show up there, it will be for that particular purpose. She won't mind because she'll agree to it. Okay? So what I'm asking is, the last time I went around to different shows, even shows I never even appeared on, except maybe once, if that, and I told them what was happening, and I invited them to come over to Joe's show. Who's going to do that now? Because I've already made my particular statement known. I am not putting in any effort.
I'll do it
until I find. You'll do it? Okay. That means other shows, Joe, that you've never been on.
Yes.
So you go up and you just say, hey, my name is Joe. I got a show here. What we're doing is we're trying to fight this bullshit called corruption in our country, and I'd like to invite you to come to this show. It's called The Lucid Libertarian on whatever night, and you have an invitation. Be there. So we'd like to hear what your particular solutions may be, and there's going to be a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people to start with. It's going to be a mastermind group, something like that.
Yeah, and one moderator. Yep.
One moderator, and you get a limited amount of time to talk, and then get your point across, and then move to the next one, and try to figure out as much as you can.
And on topic.
Exactly.
Stay on cue.
Don't worry. We'll be on.
And don't be afraid to hit that mute button if they get off topic.
Don't you worry about it. If I'm the moderator, I think you guys who have Dave, you haven't seen me in action, but if you have, then you'll know what I do.
Oh, I know. That's why I said for you to do it. Yeah, absolutely, because you get control of it, and people know that. It's base. You made your statement, and that's how it's going to be. You're not going to talk.
Let me ask this, Joe. Let me ask this to Lorianne. Lorianne's in the chat room, actually. What's the main topic that you're going to be focusing on, that you're going to bring up, Joe, that you want to moderate, or you think that's important? Because you got an idea of what.
Of course, the topic. The topic is very important. We are going to invite every freedom-loving American to come to Lorianne's show to discuss our ideas about how to fight corruption, or if corruption's too strong a word, that might trigger some FBI people or something. How to fight back and get back our country. How to get the republic. That's your. Yeah. If we say the republic, other people are going to think it's your show with that particular theme. How about it could be good, but how about something like, I don't know exactly.
How many days left until the election?
November.
Figure out how many days are left until the election,
July,
and then say
August,
we got this
September,
many days to
October, or 20.
Call it 300 days to fix America or something.
Okay, fix America. I like that. Do you guys like that? Fix America.
All right. Yeah, fix America. There you go, Joe. We got it. Here we go. With your ideas and solutions to fix America. Everybody's going to get a chance, and there's going to be a moderator. Boom. There we go. All right. Lorianne, you're in the chat room. What do you think?
Yeah, and use the countdown to the election is each day that goes by, whatever day it is, you got this many days to fix America.
And we got to keep on point. Okay, all we got to do is sit around on our computers. It's not fucking hard, people. Okay, we just brainstorm. Okay,
and them numbers dwindling down show that we're running out of time.
That's right. Yeah, I agree with you. We should have that countdown clock. It's like they have for the National Day.
Oh, the Doomsday clock.
I like that. Hey, that's another thing, Joe. That's another idea. All of us podcasters should put a countdown clock in our description when we do our show. To fix them. You know what I mean? Right?
Hell yeah.
I like that idea.
The Ameridoom clock.
And I like that name too. And another thing too, what said was on point, because the election to me, that's the jumping off point. If we don't, in November it's do or die.
You're right.
And we already know. We talked about it earlier. We're already at a point where we know they're not done nothing to fix it. Nothing. There's been nothing done.
Okay, we got 9 on Joe's show right now. How many are Lorianne? How about you, Do you think it's okay for us to go to your show and have this done? If so, let Joe know. I haven't heard anything from Lorianne yet.
She said the following Sunday is Father's Day. Would it be a bad time or a good time? Well, Father's Day. Yeah,
there ain't no better time because we're running out of time.
Yeah, yeah, we don't have no time to waste. We can't be out here celebrating,
Father's Day, Christmas, President's Day. Who gives a shit? They're all going to be no days if we don't get it fixed.
Lorianne,
guys,
Father's Day it is. All right.
Yep.
So does that agree with everybody here?
Yep.
Yeah. And you know what, Joe? Guys, you know what? Father's Day, that's a good way to advertise it. A good Father's Day show to start this stuff,
Fathers to fix America.
That's right. The Fathers for America. Why not? The Fathers for America.
Hey, I like that, Joe. The Fathers for America. There you go. Yeah, Fathers for America. I'm not excluding women now,
It's Father's Day. They can jump on it. We got Mikey here. We got Boyd here. Boyd and Mikey, are you guys in or out?
I'm in. They're in. Hang on, I got 305 wants to come on here too right now.
Okay.
All right, they're in. They said they're in. We got everybody. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 10 callers right now on here. So hang on. Let's bring on 305.
Hey,
What's
Joe,
up,
it's
305?
Mike. Wow. Hey, Mike. Mike. Joe, it's Mike with Righteous Army. How are you doing?
All right.
Boy, did I just have a – hey, good evening, Joe. Boy, did I just have a mind-bending experience. I was on the phone for the last hour with the Republic of the United States of America's phone call. Tim Turner was the speaker. James Carpenter was on. All the people from the Republic were on. There was 40 people on the call. There were some other people. And I had a couple of opportunities to make a couple of brief comments. And about 10 minutes ago, I said, basically, I said, let me say it now, because when I was in the middle of it, I was on my son's phone and it died, but I kept talking for about 5 minutes. And then when I called back in, they would not hear a word. They didn't want to hear what I had to say. They literally
okay.
It was mind blowing. No, listen to this. This is mind blowing. So I got on the phone. There was silence, because usually people come in when it's quiet. So when there was a little bit of silence, I said, "Hi, yes, Michael again with Righteous Army. May I speak?" They said yes. I said, just for clarity, the man speaking is Tim, right? You were the president before James Geiger, correct, with the Republic? He said, yes, that's correct. And I said, and then you went to prison? He said, yes. And I said, and you just got out a couple of years ago? He said, that's right. I said, well, God bless you. I said, Tim, may I just speak candidly with you? And he says, absolutely. He says, that's the best thing to do. I said, first of all, I really appreciate having listened to you for the last hour, because the man seemed completely legitimate and sincere in everything he was saying. I said, but I want to tell you, Tim, I'm just speaking candid. I came into this movement, as so many people did over the last couple of years, because of, the pandemic, the masking, the vaxxing, the New World Order government agenda, the whole 9 yards. And as a result, I came to find out all about the Anna Von Reitz movement and the David Straits, and a person named Eric Dingus, who just has a brilliant mind when it comes to law and legalese and navigating jurisdictions. And I've made some great acquaintances. Tim, I'm just being frank with you. A man by the name of Joseph Gibson ran the show for 10 years for the Republic, the radio show for them, over the last 10 years plus. I said, one of the things that I made clear on his show that was concerning to me was considering that going back 10, 12 years when you guys were doing your movement, you ended up in prison. Other people apparently ended up dead or mysteriously dying. Other people were running tough tail. And then the next thing you know, it's, reemerging. I've always had a concern about the New World Order, One World Government agenda infiltrating and hijacking the Republic. And that's not to say that James Carpenter or anybody that's on this call is part of trying to be a part of that kind of an infiltration hijacking, but the people that are the higher ups. You're referring to money coming from other areas. You're talking about these different things. I said, it's been always a concern of mine that when you left, that the movement was taken over by the New World Order, One World Government people, so that they can control it according to their agenda. And again, that's not to say anybody necessarily on this call is the person responsible for that. But I said, I frankly was all, I got into the thing about Trump. I said I was Trump's greatest supporter. I truly was.
Mike, let me interrupt, okay? You would make a very good spokesperson as a salesman, somebody for making sure that whoever wants to find out about any particular issue, you would be the first person that of all of us here, would be the face and the voice. But not to cut you off, but I have to. Right now, we're trying to figure out a way for everybody to get together, as Joe's show and headline was saying, to try to find out if we have any answers to bring back America. Do you have that?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
It's
All
called
right.
God's law, not man's law. It's called God's law. It's called God's desire for his creation.
Okay.
Not man's
maybe
perverting of his creation.
Right. Okay, I got that. Were you listening before you called in?
No, I just called in now because. And
Oh,
if I could just
okay. I apologize.
Yeah, let me just make this. Let me make this.
I think you got Joe's a little.
Mikey.
I'm not going to go on saying everything I said on the show. I just want to make the point that my son's phone died right when I was in the middle of having this conversation, and I proceeded to talk for another 5 minutes, spilling the beans on everything.
We heard that. Here's the thing, Mike.
And then
all of us now. There's an agenda right here. Okay. Mike.
No, hang on, Joe. I want to hear what he had to say for that fight. I want to hear that. I want to hear that point that he was trying to make, though, with the Republicans. Important, but Joe, hang on, Joe, because you addressed this too, Joe. You addressed this with the Republic. You got to pay attention. You brought this up to them. Okay, so go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. Finish real quick, like you can, Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah,
okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, basically, I proceeded to talk for another 5 minutes after my son's phone had died, and I didn't know his phone died. So a lot of the stuff I was saying about supporting Trump and all that, they probably didn't even hear it. But I don't know where. I don't know where the phone died, but it certainly. I'm sure that I got in the basics of how I came to hear about him and you and your show, and my concern about the New World Order, one world government, people controlling the movement. So when I did finally call back on my dad's phone, boy, it was silent again. I said, "Hi, this is Michael. I'm sorry. I apologize. My son's phone died, and I didn't get to finish. But, Tim, I wanted to tell you." And all of a sudden, 3 or 4 voices came on. Yield, out of order, point of order, mute him.
So you caught him. Caught him, huh? What's up with that, Mike? What's your take on that? Yeah. What's your take on that, Joe and Mike? First, Mike.
All right here. Hey, Joe. So yeah, I mean, my take was obvious. It's that just confirmed what I came to believe earlier. But right now, though, I could just punch myself in the face 10 times over for that damn phone dying like that. It wasn't my fault, but it was. Even my son was in the other room, and he was like, "Damn, Dad, you nailed it all. That was excellent." I wanted to hear their response. I said, "Yeah, your phone died like 5 minutes ago." I was saying all that stuff. So all the stuff came out, just it flowed, man, just everything. So why did they jump? Why did they jump down your throat, though? Why did they yield like that, though? Because of their compromise, right? I mean, what do you think? There's no question that there's some people in there that know, because I did address the issue, and I don't know if they heard it, about, that the whole purpose of the New World Order is to do away with the system, do away with cash around the world, and have their digital monetary system, right, so that they can have control over people. So, yeah, I mean, the bottom line is the concern about the New World Order, one world government, being the ones that are controlling the movement called the Republic, or even controlling that reestablishment of the Republic. I was on a call the other night. I don't remember what call it was on, but somebody said,
"Let me interrupt one more time."
Right.
Let me interrupt one more time.
Hang on. I want to hear Mike's. I want to hear Joe's take on this now. What Mike just said. Go ahead, Joe. Because you said they were a fraud too.
Yeah, well, yeah, I thought, the thing is that they probably reacted the way they did because Mike was getting too close to the truth and they didn't want him to say it. But what I want to do right now, okay, I want to get confirmations from everybody here. Mike, before you call, we had agreed.
Yeah, Mike, we want him. Mike, we want him too Sunday. Yeah, Mike, we need you Sunday too.
That's right, I'm saying that. Yeah, okay. All of us here, and Mike, you're invited as well. All of us are going to Lori Ann's show, and Lori Ann starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And at that particular show, 9 of us hopefully, and more, because Joe's going to go around to other shows and invite the conservatives and other people he knows to come to Lori Ann's show so that we can sit down and have a little mastermind meeting. Nothing really big. Don't be scared, everybody. Just express what you feel might be your own particular solution, even if they're wacky. If somebody says we need a documentary, if somebody says we got to contact Hollywood, if somebody says, well, we got to lock up brag for
we
what
got
he's
it,
done
Joe.
to Trump.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
So
Yep.
we got that. So now, Mike, you're invited. Can you make it on Sunday?
Yeah, what time is it going to be?
9 o'clock Eastern Time, Lori Ann Show, the Lucid Libertarian.
Yeah,
Mike, basically we want hardcore solutions, Mike, once and for all. This is what we're trying to do here is say this is it, otherwise we're done and there's no need to talk about it anymore. Either we're going to move forward with what we got, no more crap. We're pulling the card on everybody like you just did with the Republic. That's it. We're doing this. We want solutions. That's it.
And I want to comment on Mike's talk to them guys because me and you, Joe, we had this problem when, what was it, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, we came across that guy that was talking, and all he kept saying was how he was part of the former Republic and that he was going to try and get the funding to do all this. You know, he was going through that. He was going, and I said, wait a minute. We're trying to get away from the system that you're trying to get funded to run for again. This is
what we're going to bring up, Dave. This is what we're going to bring up.
Yeah.
Good. All right, let me make this clear too. I'm going to Mike and everybody else. I'm going to be the moderator, which means if you guys have heard me moderate, it's going to be 2 to 3 minutes apiece. Then you keep quiet, and then everybody goes in turn. Nobody talks over each other, or you get muted. There's a serious discussion. Otherwise, I'm not putting in any more effort, like I said before. I'm the moderator. And as the moderator, it's going to be an interrogatory type of moderation. It's not going to be like the normal debate where people go back and forth. I let you talk, and if somebody wants to do a rebuttal for 2 to 3 minutes, good. Then we go around so that everybody has a chance to talk. Is everybody clear on that?
Yeah, and what I wanted to make clear is this. Because Mike's putting in all this effort with Righteous Army and the big virus hoax. I am with the Republic. We got American Statesmen in there. Everyone's doing their own thing. You know what? Are we wasting our damn time? Because I'm getting sick of it. Let's do this already. Enough is enough. You know? I'm tired of it.
Okay. Lori Ann just sent me a text. It's going to be Sunday, Father's Day. No, Sunday the 16th, a week from this Sunday on her show. She told me to make it clear. Sunday the 16th. Everybody got it?
Got it.
All right, the 16th.
Okay.
I don't know why not this Sunday, but...
Then it's her show. She wants to do. Then if anybody wants to do it sooner than that, that's fine. But right now, she's agreeing to the 16th.
The doomsday clock is ticking.
Does anybody want to do it soon? There's no. Okay. Anybody want to do it soon?
We can do it. What she has to say right now. But I mean, for now, if we tomorrow, within the next 24 hours, if we come to a consensus somehow, we all got contacts with each other. You know, if one person
we're
says
we're not that organized yet, Joe. We're not that organized yet.
We're going to do it like a republic. Hang on, we're going to do it like a republic. If one person says no, we want to do it sooner, then we got to do it sooner. That's it.
That's what I'm trying to get to. I'm asking people now. She wants it on the 16th. Okay, that's her show. That's her prerogative. If anybody wants to do it prior to the 16th, that's not a problem. Just say so, and we'll do it on that day. Does anybody?
You guys run this. You guys have the shows, and you know how to do it. What if I go on Blog Talk and I start my own show, and we start with that one first? Nobody knows nothing about it. Joe, you moderate it. And Joe Gibson, you'll have to, run the switchboard or however the hell you do, but go ahead and use my account if you have to. I don't know if is that possible?
Yeah, I think that would be I don't know. It's an idea, but right now I think I kind of like Lorianne's platform. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's an idea.
16th. Hold on, guys.
Yeah.
Look, Joe, everybody here.
Yes.
16th, she's got stuff to do. She already has a prior engagement prior to the 16th.
Okay.
The 16th is good for her. Anybody here who wants to do it prior to that, fine. Who does it? Who has a show that wants to do it prior to that? Tomorrow, the next day, any day. Who?
I kind of like Lorianne then because you know what? I got to go around to all these podcast shows. I want to hit every single one I can. Between now and the 16th. So the more, the better. That's the game here. We need numbers, for God's sake, so little as it is.
That's what we have to do then. The ones that are listening now should actually go into the Blog Talk directory. However you want to do it, pick and choose a few. Go to their show, and we all do this and spread the word for the 16th.
We can, Jay, but I'm the
that.
designated guy, though. I'm the designated guy, though.
Joe, you can do it, Joe. You can do it, and Tave, too. Anybody who wants to go to a show, just invite them to the 16th.
Okay.
And you guys have all kinds of different, like you have politics and you have community, all the different labels for different shows. So we're going to aim for the politics or what was the other one? The government.
Yeah,
maybe?
the conservatives. Yeah. If you see the conservatives as their tags and stuff like that, just go on their shows and say, hey, you know what, guys? I'm sure that you've been talking about trying to fix America for a while. We've got a bunch of guys who have agreed to show up on the 16th. You are invited. Would you like to show up?
Kind of like what Shabaka does. When Shabaka shows up, he gives his spiel, and then he disappears.
What's up, Mike? What's up, Mike?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I got to just say, the bottom line at this point really is, short of Revelation 21, a glorious kingdom coming down out of the sky upon the earth, and only those who have a genuine relationship with the Creator, Lord God Almighty, and walk in His commandments and obey His laws get to walk through the gate. You know, short of that, it seems to me the best thing and only thing that we do have going for us is the Republic of the United States of America, even if it's controlled opposition. And the reason for that is because the call that I was just listening to now, Tim Turner, everything he was saying, the people were all very respectful to him. They believe in that system, whether it's hijacked or not. That's why they're opposed to me, because I just question, I question all things, and they don't like that because it's like questioning them. And they have 100% confidence in what they're doing.
You got to question it, Mike. You got to question it because we're watching a failed one already. We're going through this process. We don't want to do it again.
Right. Have we with that? Tim Turner before we start another digressing, have we confirmed from everybody here that everybody's going to show up on the 16th?
Yes.
Okay.
Joe.
You can't speak for everybody. Yes. All right. I haven't heard it from Mikey.
You just said yes. Everybody just said yes, Joe. Yeah, boy, they all said yes.
Okay, so everybody's showing up, and our people going to go to other shows and invite them.
I said yes on that. I don't know about everybody else.
All right. Okay, all right. Now go ahead, Mike. I just have to make that sure. If it's going to be done, it has to be done organized and right. Sorry. Now go ahead.
It will, Joe.
I want to get confirmation.
Can you put a flyer on the Blog Talk page where I know you see the different shows that are available? Can you predate the 16th show and post it up there?
Well, why not?
Yeah, Lorianne can do that.
I don't know if you guys can do that. I don't know how that works. That's why I said I don't know anything about the
Dave, I want to hear what Mike has to say about the Republic a little bit more. Go ahead, if you don't mind. Go ahead there, Mike.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, and I have to repeat the first part of it, short of Revelation 21 and the kingdom of God coming down upon this earth as it reads, the best thing we have going for us is the Republic of the United States of America, because whether they are infiltrated, hijacked, controlled opposition or not, it is the best thing in this planetary system we live in. Whether we're under a dome or floating through space, the best thing that we can have going for us.
Can you tell everybody why, Mike?
Yeah,
Can you tell everybody why?
Yeah, because they're basing it off of all of the principles of the original Constitutional Republic of the United States. They're basing it off of the Bible. To me, it's not fully in sync with the Bible legitimately, completely, but it's that they're claiming it. They're borrowing from it. They're using aspects of the Bible, aspects of Christianity, aspects of God, aspects of the original Republic, of the Constitution, and concurring that there's a corporate fraudulent government in place that's going to crash and crumble, and that they are going to stand up. And as you know from the shows that Eric Dingus has been having, I don't know if you were on his show last week. I was on that show last week on Thursday, and the word is that they're about to stand up the Republic in many states, officially, lawfully, legally, and the de facto is going to accept it. So there is going to be a new system in place. Whether it's the New World Order, one world government controlled or not, to me at this point is irrelevant. That's the only system that exists in this world, in this world, short of God's kingdom, that's worth putting our efforts and focus on.
You know, guys, I just go back to a quote from Thomas Jefferson, and he said this. He said, "Question with boldness even the existence of God, because if there be one, he must more approve of the homage of reason than the blindfolded fear, than a blindfolded fear." And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about let us come together and reason this thing out to the point of where we can actually get together and find out what we must do to come together on this thing. I mean, for instance, I give you an example. We talk about the swamp in Washington, but there's no doubt that each state has its own swamp. Each city in each state, each county has its own swamp, and each city and our friend there, Dave, dealt with the city of Akron, dealt with that swamp just recently, right, Dave? So we got to deal with the fact that each city, each state, each county has their own swamp, and what must we do to correct our local thing before we can correct, the republic?
All right, hang on. I got something important to say here, all right? Listen. Mike, you and I talked about something that was going to possibly September. Remember we were throwing around dates and everything. When do you think this is going to happen and whatnot? Well, I got a message a few days ago from someone this person is in the, I would say, probably the Rothschild-Bilderberg circle, okay? And they send me messages like a couple times a year. They send me a message. I know who it is, and I met this person through somebody in the military, okay? Now, I sent it to you, Mike. I don't know if you read it or not. I sent it to a couple people, 3 or 4 people. But this is what it says right here. It's one little small page. But this is what it says. It coincides, Mike, with what you and I were talking about privately about a month ago. And I said, damn, that's what me and Mike were talking about. I said, this was sent to me in a special message I get from time to time from someone in the inner circle of the global elites. It says, Paris and Kiev and talks ahead of D-Day anniversary when Zelensky will visit France. Macron faces a serious collapse in confidence among the French, and he too is desperately needs to create war. Background noise, everybody. He is pushing NATO to send in troops. They already have advisors there, and Russia knows that the Brits are in Ukraine firing the missiles for Ukrainians are not competent. Likewise, Ukraine is incapable of sinking Russian ships in the Black Sea without U.S. satellite intelligence. Okay, it says we are on the edge of World War III because Western nations are nearing default on national debts. Okay, they need war as a distraction. The West has already declared war on Russia to try to prevent civil uprisings of a debt crisis of historic proportions. China sold $53 billion of U.S. debt in the first quarter. They would be insane to buy any debt from any Western government at this stage. Zelensky is selling out his own country for a handful of silver. They cannot conquer Russia and break it up as Estonia is telling people. We must be concerned about the first week of September, both domestically and as well as internationally. Even the Telegraph newspaper wrote about the Trump verdict. A politically motivated prosecution by Democrat prosecutors presided over by a politically connected Democrat judge and a politically Democrat jurisdiction against a likely Republican presidential nominee in an election year. It smells rotten because it was rotten. The whole thing stinks. Whether you love or hate Trump, this conviction should appall you. This is not about Donald Trump. It's about the weaponization of the criminal justice system against a political opponent. It's the type of prosecutional and judicial conduct we expect in Putin's Russia. Prior to this case, America was deeply divided. Now it's tearing at the seams. The only hope we have is that RFK joins Trump either as a health czar and or head of the DOJ. That would be an overwhelming ticket. This is the only shot we have at reducing the destruction on the horizon from this insane march to World War III within the corporation and the corporation's jurisdiction. Our staff in Germany have personally confirmed that a friend who is 59 years old was drafted. Throughout Europe, the draft age will be up to 60, and that is coming to the USA no matter what BS the press tells you. They also intend to draft girls this time. All of this because of a sovereign debt crisis. Ukrainian people are viewed as expendable. Those Ukrainians who have sent me hate mail should get out ASAP. The West has its agenda, and they do not care about you or your future. Zelensky says he is fighting for democracy and suspends his election because he would be voted out. This is not democracy. It is a dictatorship as a vassal state of NATO. Strange things will appear to deceive many, and even those that are of the groups or crowds you once thought could be trusted. I know I will be condemned to the evil and twisted place my fellow beings are now trapped. I understand for the thousands of years we have done the Creator wrong, and I cannot be forgiven, nor should I be. Protect those close to you and try to continue doing what is just in an unjust world. If for when until the next time when it is safe to do so, I will do my best to inform you as to what is needed to the safety and for your safety and your family. That's it. Ends it right there. So what do you think, in your opinion, of that letter? Sounds like World War III in the fall.
I'll tell you what I think about it. If they're talking about Zelensky like that, they better start talking about Netanyahu because he's doing the same shit. Exactly the same, because if he's not voted in again, he's going to go to prison.
Yeah, he's just a pawn, though, right now. He's a pawn for the upper elites. So what do you think, Mike?
Well, Joe, to be honest with you, you're one of the few and the proud and the excellent who, like myself and, you know, those handfuls of others that we both know, who recognize the idea that we can't sit back in a church pew and say, oh, Jesus is coming, I'm waiting on the Lord, because we need to put forth an effort to try to make things right. You know, evil will prevail when good men and women do nothing. So, you know, we're doing, but the simple fact of the matter is something big and terrible is coming, because even if it's the return of, you know, Messiah, Yahushua, it's the dreadful and terrible day of the Lord, right, is the way it reads. So we know that no unclean thing will enter God's kingdom. We know that nothing that offends him will enter his kingdom. And we live in a world that is full of a vast majority of men and women who are indulging in just about every immoral, godless thing you can think of with no thought or consideration. And they're happy to be blinded by, you know, mainstream Christian, feel-good Christianity. Just believe on the Lord and you're saved, brother.
Mike,
you know,
did you hear what he said at the end there? Did you hear the weird stuff he said at the end there? Thousands of years are beings. I mean, that, you know, that's just evil. This guy's one of the people that worships the evil, you know, the evil circles. But you hear what he said? Thousands of years we've been doing this? What the hell is he talking about? You know?
Right.
You know, I mean, that's weird shit, man. And it's that's demonic.
Well, you know, that could, you know, that's dual interpretable. I mean, you know, we meaning humanity, or we meaning fallen angels that have been here for a while doing it. I mean, we can interpret it. But what we all have to ultimately, you know, recognize is that are we individually doing everything we can? We're all different. We're all on a different level. We all have our own unique relationship with God. But do you really? Do you really genuinely have a relationship with the Creator Lord God Almighty that's genuine and sincere to the innermost core of your being? Because that's the only thing that's going to really matter in the end. If there is to be a reestablishment of God's kingdom, as Yahushua said, on earth as it is in heaven, as you know, my wingman Dan is of that position as well, you know, we can take the Bible either literal or figurative. Either he's coming back and taking us away, and a lot of the stuff in the Bible is literal, or it's figurative, because his coming means us standing up and doing the right thing and reestablishing his kingdom upon this earth so that he can return. There's a lot of interesting, you know, truths that are surfacing
As you know, my son is an excellent reader and researcher, and he's all about truth. He's all about, being right with the Maker. And so he's using his God-given mind to, look at things, as I do, with an open mind and a skeptical mind at the same time.
Yeah.
But what I do know is that this world, we're living in a world that's very corrupt.
Decadent.
The question
decadent.
is, right. So the question is it to be fulfilled that those who are righteous, those who are right with God, are going to turn things around in this world, or is it going to be, again, kind of, what causes a lot of Christians to sit in the church pew and say, "Oh, I'm waiting on the Lord," because He's coming back.
Yeah.
We can't just sit there. We have to. We have to call out the evil, and we have to soul search our own lives, our own reality, right?
How much time do we have left, Joe? How much time do we have left?
According to this letter and what me and Mike been talking about, we're around election time, the fall, next fall.
So I'm talking about on your show right now. How much time have you got left?
12 minutes.
12 minutes. All right, I want to make a closing statement. Okay, this is going to be, hopefully this is going to be somewhat organized, people, not like it was last time. I suggest that everybody who goes to the shows, send that information to Joe. I presume you have his cell number, his phone number. Send it to him so that we all know that everybody's doing something. And Joe will get in contact with people. As you said, Joe, people can't get in contact with each other to affirm that people are going to show up on Sunday, because I don't want another clusterfuck like last time. This is 1 week in advance. People should have enough time to get their ideas organized and to visit other shows. Otherwise, everybody's full of shit. Am I right or am I wrong?
100% right.
Well, just for clarity, though, you said 1 week. Is it actually 2 weeks, the 16th?
It's on the 16th. The 16th. Sorry, you're right. The 16th.
Yeah.
Okay. Lorraine is going to write up a draft. No, I think Father's Day is not on the 16th, is it?
I got some other callers, guys, who want to jump in here, too, so I just want to let you know that. So,
okay.
Joe, you know what your closing statement?
Do we understand? Those of you who are going to go around, it's not mandatory, but if you go around or if you find anybody you want to invite to the show, let Joe know so we know that we're being coordinated and organized. Okay? That's it.
Okay.
If you want to let him in, Joe, let him in.
Yeah, let me bring in 907. 907, you want to speak?
No, I just got here. I don't know what you guys are talking about. So I'm good. I'm going to sit back.
All righty. All right. Mike, I guess you got cut off. I think it was Mike that was talking, really. But you were talking about your son and everything, giving a little speech there.
Any other callers, Joseph, that you could take?
That's it. I got 907. He just
Father's Day.
Yeah, it's Father's Day. No.
Lorianne
just
told me.
Press 1. Okay. Press 1 if you want to speak. Press 1 if you want to speak. You got to press 1 on your phone, guys. And you got 6 minutes left. And if you hang up, you won't get back in. So remember that. Okay. Okay. I don't see anybody else putting their hand up, Mike. I don't know if you got anybody in mind that wants to speak or not. They got to press 1 on their phone. Whoever wants to speak. So unscreened, uncensored. I'm scrolling down the board here. I got about 10, 11, 12 callers on the board. I want to ask Mike a
question, Joe.
Yeah.
With everything that's going on in this prophecy that I like to call it the self-fulfilling prophecy, because I think of throughout history that they've hijacked the Bible and kind of written a narrative and some things themselves to get this to the point where we're at, where they're claiming everything's fallen in line just as their prophecy is going to be fulfilled. Is Donald Trump part of the problem? Because a lot of people think that they're going to change this with a vote, number one. Number two, they think Donald Trump's the answer, where I think it is absolutely no, that he's the problem, because he is moved, he's participated in the agenda for the coming of their Messiah, which they believe in order for that to happen, all the goyim must die. Can you elaborate on that?
A lot of background noise. Everybody's telling me in the background. People are telling me in the chat room there's a lot of background noise. So please.
Yeah, if everybody could just push the mute button on your own phone.
Yeah, you guys can mute your own selves. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
Sure. Yeah. So of course, Dave. We've discussed this many times, and you're right on track there. That's still a question in a lot of people's mind about Trump. But I've gone over it, numerous times. Just the issues. If we point out all the issues that we can point out about, that support the reality that Trump and Biden are just playing good cop, bad cop for the New World Order, one world government agenda. There are two wings on the same dirty bird. There's just an overwhelming abundance of indicators that support that statement. So, and then the point you made second to that reality is it's not about Trump. It's about each individual. And the gentleman that was referencing earlier, a few minutes ago, he mentioned again, it's about self-governance, in your local communities. But then that even brings us back down to the fact that, well, what are our communities? Our communities right now are just corrupt, perverted domains, all of them. And that is by and large because of Hollywood, because of the television shows that they put on television. It's all godless. It's all perverted. It's all immoral. It's all inhumane. It's all about violence and smut and perversion and immorality for entertainment, for our children. It's pathetic. The movies, the television programming, the fake propaganda news broadcast.
I've done so much research in the past, I want to say 2 months. I am beside myself now because I have actually partaken in watching people talk and speak that are fluent and know Greek and know Hebrew and talk about the antiquity. History repeats itself. And if people understood, like Joe was asking, how could that have been so long? How has it gone on for so long? Because from the very beginning, people don't understand the drugs that were used back then. It was a pharmaceutical. If you didn't do drugs, you were odd. That's for everything. That's where your oracles, all the stuff that goes on back then. But then that's when you alter your state of mind, you start to develop these sects of people that stay that way. And that's what we are seeing because it is happening. What I've watched is unbelievable. You could take 1600 prior to Christ's birth and put it on a blue, like lay it on top of what's happening today, and it is almost, when you take all the different governments that have tried to take place, all the things that happen, the pedophilia, the child trafficking, the drugs, it's no different. We're just on a different day of the calendar. Got a group of people that have been doing it, that have stayed together, tightly knit and quiet, and they have run this amok, and are going to continue to do it until somebody brings their Mashiach in. That's the agenda, people. I'm finally figuring out that these people want everybody dead. We know that. But it's gone on for so long. It was such a small, minute number of people. Now they sit in all the places of power and are slowly putting their hand around our throat. And they're going to take it from us. They're going to take everything. And then they're going to be happy because they've destroyed the Goyim, the Gentile. And then they can celebrate because enter in their Mashiach, their Messiah, because they are God's chosen people. But they fail to tell you they just believe in a different God, and that is Lucifer. I yield.
Mike, you want to respond?
Yeah, I would say that I was sitting there trying to get my unmute on my phone to work. I would say that, I would say what Dan would say if he was on the phone right now. They're all going to be destroyed because that's what the Bible does say. We know that the imposters, as Yahushua called them, imposters, murderers, thieves, liars, their father is Satan. They're the bad bloodline. They are the ones in control.
They're the ones that own the Fed. They're the ones that own the World Banks. They're the ones that own Hollywood. They're the ones that own the television programming. They're the ones that own and control the music industry. They're the ones pumping out all the perversion and immorality and filth and violence into society.
I call them late days.
Their day's coming. Their day's coming. Their days are numbered, and they know it. And they're going to be, as Isaiah said, ashes under the soles of your feet. They will be wiped out. They will be completely destroyed, all of them. We know who they are. And we know that they've used all kinds of psyops, to trip people up on those issues. But that's where truth comes into play. There's
that's where I say though, Mike. That's why I question why people haven't awakened to the fact that Donald Trump sat down and told people, he told the country that with the anti-Semitic bullshit that he wants to push, just like the Saints is going to Israel for these laws. They're trying to eliminate free speech, number one. Number two, to say anything out against Israel, Trump said he wants to bring back the death penalty, put you to death. Why would you want to stand behind somebody that wants to? Because you don't want to.
It's kind of frustrating to me to find out that people aren't Trump lovers. I have my own reasons for thinking that Trump is not exactly the Messiah. I'm going to go in 1 minute, and I'd like to state my reason, and I want to let people know that the freestyle type of talking that we're used to on the Chit Chat shows will not be allowed on Lorianne's show on the 16th. Those of you who have seen me in action know that's what's going to happen. But here's my reason for being against Trump. As a 45th president, I thought he was very good. When he got out of office and he didn't have the excuse of having advisors around him to give him bad advice, what did he do? He pushed the neurological weapon, the bioweapon, the vaccine. So that's all I want to say, guys. Yeah. Okay. That's all I want to say.
Issues, and if I could just say, with respect to Joe's concerns about certain things being discussed, this is a big part of the problem, is that they have completely pulled the wool over people's eyes about who's who and what's what. People are believing things that aren't true to be true. They're believing all kinds of historical lies and fallacies and inaccuracies. They're literally believing a narrative that's been painted for them about who's who and what's what, even from a biblical perspective, even from a Christian perspective, let alone a Judeo perspective. They have people completely brainwashed and fooled about who's who and what's what, and people believe gobbledygook to be true when it's not. So
and I got to go. Sorry, I got to go, guys. But I want to say, I want to wish all of us luck. And even though I'm an atheist, I'm going to say God bless you, because if we get together on Sunday, hopefully, then we might do something. All right. So up until between now and then, good luck. God bless, and I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.
We got to address that too, guys. We got to address that issue too, what Joe just said right there at the end there. Because in a republic, in a godly republic, atheist Gannon was bringing up some interesting points on my show. People that don't believe. We can't have this cesspool of multi-faith religions, and everybody worships. We can worship your God today. We worship your God today. I'll worship this God today. And we got to figure this out here. These are one of the big hardcore issues that have to be addressed. What do you think, Mike, on that subject?
Well, you have to start vetting. You have to start vetting different religions because
one at a time, guys.
Like some people,
hold on.
Like some people,
hold on. Okay. Dave, hold that thought, because what Joseph just said there is worth its weight in gold. The simple fact of the matter is, people are there. It's the sifting. It's the sifting. It's the time of the shaking. It's about separating the wheat from the tares, the good fruit from the bad fruit. So those who love truth and seek it, it will be given to them. The truth will not be given unto those who do not love it and do not seek it. And many people will claim they love it and seek it when they really don't, which is why we have scriptural verses that say, many will come to me in that day saying, Lord, Lord, we've done all these great things in your name. He'll say, depart from me, you worker of sin, I never knew you. There's too many people that are rejecting the truths of God. And the truths of God, you could break it down as simple as this. There's a creator, Lord God Almighty. The Creator, Lord God Mighty, created all things. When he created all things, he blessed the seventh day and made it a day of remembrance of his creative abilities as a memorial of his creation. It's called the Sabbath. He gave 10 commandments that say, do not adulterate your bloodline. Keep your racial purity. Keep yourselves pure as I created you to be. Do not amalgamate. Do not kill. Do not steal. Do not lie. Do not covet. Be content and thankful for what I've given you. Don't abuse my name. Don't lie. Don't deceive. He's laid it all out for us. But what does humanity do? They violate all of it. They violate it all. So now they're going to pay the consequences for it. There are those of us who repent, who recognize that, who go in their closet and say, God, I don't know who you are, what you are, but here I am. Take me. I'm yours. I'm sorry. I'm genuinely sorry. Help me, cleanse me, purge me, purify me, make me right. You know, I give myself to you. Only the people that do that, and they do it sincerely, are the ones that are going to be saved, you know, are going to be redeemed, are going to be harvested off of this putrid world that we live in. But I think he's given us this battle and those statements of evil will prevail when good men and women do nothing, because it forces us to show who's who and what's what. That's why, even if we cannot reestablish a godly republic on this earth, will you die fighting to try to make it happen? Because that shows what side of the equation you're on. So even if it's not to be established on this earth, he allows it to be where there's going to be those that are endeavoring to make it so, endeavoring to make it on earth as it is in heaven. And those who whip Willie, you know, don't. And then, of course, those that just outright, you know, blatantly are perverted anyway. They don't care. They don't care about God. They don't care about moralities. They just want to live their life and not live in harmony with the way God created things to be. The Creator created all things. Therefore, the Creator created things to be the way they're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. It's that simple.
Yeah. Right. Go ahead, Dave.
I just wanted to say that, you know, you said, Mike, about the Sabbath. What day does Christianity represent that on?
Well, yeah, the Vatican changed the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday.
Yeah, that's what I mean. A lot of people don't realize that. You know, people are blind to that. And I will say, thanks to you and Europa, I can't stress that enough. I still stress it more than anything, that, like you say, if you don't seek the truth, and people claim to do it and they don't do it, then you can tell when they change, because once they find out the truth, you're driven to go to as far as you can with it. You want to know whether it's right or wrong, or what you believe is right or wrong, just the facts and the truth, so you can make that assertion yourself. Then things change, because everything I thought I knew is wrong. When I started talking to Mike and I got into some things and I started going down that road, I started to find out not conspiracy theories, conspiracy facts, because that's what I find. I find books, authors, documents, receipts, you know, things that collaborate one another through time calendrically. We're not talking about hearsay bullshit. I'm talking about things that 5 or 6 authors have wrote about over all different parts of the world in different languages, but yet they put them together in the proper translation. They tell the same story, not some made-up crap that's fed to you so you can bend to their agenda, because that's what all this is about. They are changing everything to benefit them, to usher in their thing, their belief. As evil as it is, people don't see it because they won't read and go away from the normal narrative, because they're too lazy.
All right, guys, we got to get ready to wrap it up here. So, final thoughts here, everybody. I mean, or Mike, if you got something more to say, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just give my last thoughts, because it just piggybacks on what Dave said there. What it's ultimately about is Luciferian freedom. In fact, America, that torch. My son's pointed out some great things. I mean, the Bible says that, I'm coming more and more, the more truth that's revealed, the more I'm going to offend a mainstream Christian. Because mainstream Christianity is completely deceived. They're believing narratives that are completely wrong about everything. So the people that would be most likely to be offended by anything I say that's truth is going to be a mainstream Christian, church-going Christian who doesn't really care about the truth. They're just happy to be associated with their church and their preacher and what they believe all their life. So, it is interesting. My son has brought some great things to my attention recently about the short season of Satan being loosed. And there's no question that we're living in the short season of Satan being loosed. And who does Lucifer represent? The light bearer, right? He was the light bearer, Lucifer. And what is the Statue of Liberty? It holds up a light, a torch. And if you ever notice at the bottom of the Statue of Liberty, there's a broken chain on the feet of the Statue of Liberty. The chain is broken.
Amazing.
Lucifer's been set free. Lucifer,
some claim that's Apollo too.
Luciferian freedom. That's what America is all about.
Right.
Yep.
Luciferian freedom, which means freedom, not with freedom comes responsibility, not freedom in context with the way the Creator, Lord God Almighty made things to be, but no, you're free to do what you want. And, I can get very, very grotesque right now with my language if I wanted to, describing the choices that many people make to be free, and they call it freedom. We can get into the whole homosexuality, gay marriage, LGBTQ, A to Z community agenda, no male, no gender, the racial amalgamation, not preserving what God created, but changing everything up and making it just free to do as you will. That's the Luciferian doctrine. Whatever you choose, you have free will. Do it. If it feels good and it makes you happy, do it. That is the motto of, that's the cookie cutter stamp that America is trying to put into the world, and that's the Luciferian freedom model. So again, only those who really are able and capable of saying, yes, it's my nature to want to do this, but that's not really healthy, or that's not really proper, or that's not, that's actually opposed to even what God said, don't do this, don't do that, don't eat this, don't eat that. God's the creator. He tells me what to do or what not to do. Let me listen to God's laws, his commandments. Yahushua said, if you love me, keep my commandments. The three I like to point out to all the mainstream Christian ears that try to justify, no, brother, I accept Jesus, and because I said I accept Jesus, I'm going to march into the kingdom of God. Faith without works is dead. Love me. If you love me, keep my commandments. All right? There's a way in which we are supposed to live by design. Our nature is to not live that way. That's what being born again is about. It's about recognizing, man, yes, I feel like doing this. I want to do this. I have the desire to do that, but that's unhealthy. Or God said, don't do that. Or if I do that, there's potential bad consequences. No wonder God said don't do it, right? God help me. Fill me with the Holy Spirit. Enable me to walk in your commandments. What are your commandments? How can I live in accordance with what you expect for your creation? After all, it is your creation. That's a true Christian, somebody that's going to seek all truths and walk in the ways of God. Walk even as I walk, is what Yahushua said. We're supposed to walk. He's our example. We're supposed to emulate him, but people don't even know who or what he was. They don't even recognize that Jesus Christ was a golden, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Caucasian. They don't even know that. They think he was a dark, black, curly-haired, Middle Eastern, big-nosed Jew. That's what they think. That's what most people think about that Jesus Christ was, which is completely wrong. It's not the truth at all. So just that mere comment I made right there would shake 99% of anybody that considers themselves to be a Christian who goes to a mainstream Christian church to just freak out and not even be able to handle it. But all the documents prove it. All the documents prove it. The testimony proves it. The history proves it. The archaeology proves it. The literature proves it. There's plenty of proof. But the churches And the Bible, the way it's been translated into English purposefully, English is the language of spells. They deliberately translated that Bible into English with specific select words and verbiage so that they could create particular and specific narratives in order to lead people and guide people by fear and ignorance, just like they did with the virus pandemic. Fear and ignorance. Ignorance because they don't know the truth, they don't know any better, and fear. You're going to burn in hell for all of eternity, endlessly, forever and ever and ever and ever, if you don't do as the preacher on the pulpit tells you to do. That's a tyrannical, psychopathic God that they worship.
Oh, I know.
There is no God. There is no creator.
Yelling at people, putting them down, you know?
Yeah. That's right.
Send me your money, send me your seed, and your seed will be replanted.
People don't know the truth.
No.
The vast majority have been misled. The Bible tells us the whole world will wander after the beast. Will wander after the beast power. What is the beast power? It's this world power. And it's that bad bloodline that controls it all. So the vast majority of people are going to be deceived by it and misled by it. You know, that's by choice, actually. They choose it. You know why? Well, I'm going to choose this because it's Luciferian freedom. It's my freedom. It's my free will to do what I want. It doesn't matter what God said. I'm going to do it my way.
Yep, my way, yep. I'm going to do it. Just do it, right? Just do it, right? That's what the shirt was some years ago. Remember? Just do it, you know?
Yeah.
Crazy, man. And you hear it with people, Mike, and you hear it with people even on these podcast shows, you know. I mean, I'm not trying to criticize anybody or tear anybody, but we, you know, they make the comments, you know, well, you know, God don't judge, you know, or you know, I could do what I want. It's my life, you know. Does he want me to do and be happy? As long as I'm happy, that's all that should matter, you know. Oh, crazy. Yeah. Crazy, brother. But anyway, anybody else out there want to say closing thoughts here real quick? Here, because we're getting ready to wrap it up here. I don't know anybody wants thoughts on tonight's podcast show.
I'm
Mike
just going to say a
dropped, the other
couple
Mike.
things. Just a few things, Joe, and then I'm done.
Go ahead, Dave.
When I talk about, and Mike made a comment a couple weeks ago about he had seen that I had changed because from when he first had known me can tell that I indulged myself into finding out facts and truth. And I can only tell this to people in as simple a way to maybe spark something in their mind or just to give them a drive to do something to get off the couch and if you're going to use your phone, use it for something purposeful. I mean, you got the most incredible device in your hand that has every question or answer that you could ever ask it. Stop playing Pokemon on it or whatever you're doing. Use it for something. And understand this, that in antiquity, Hebrew had a a word collection of no more than 8,000 words. So the narrative behind that, I don't want to call it a cult, but that language that derives most of what people believe and follow today, where the 250,000 word vocabulary from the Greek and the Septuagint and the things like that, where all these other authors wrote, the language that comes from that, knowing Greek, is unbelievable. And when you see such a large amount of knowledge in an area that's been total, that's why they were burning it. They were doing the same shit then. Burn the libraries, burn the books, hide the history, don't tell nobody nothing. And then the one group comes out and lays down the narrative. If that doesn't tell you something, why are they trying to hide so much? Because if everybody knew a little bit about what they were up to, we wouldn't have a problem this weekend of straightening this shit out. It'd be one weekend because there'd be a lot of people in trouble. And I yield.
The internet, and social media is their worst enemy.
Hang on, Mike. I don't know. 907's been there for a while. I don't know if he's ready to speak or not before we wrap it up here. 907, you want to say anything? Maybe not. I know you
I think I'll pass on. I think I'll pass on this discussion.
Okay, understood. Understood. Okay, Mike, final thoughts? I see you're the only one left here, you and me. Everyone else put their hand down.
I
so.
appreciate you. Appreciate you guys. God bless everybody, man. You guys all have a great
night,
man. Great week.
Hey, what? All right, yeah, Mike, is we said okay still to promote Thursday's meeting or not?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, promote Thursday and try to come on whenever you can on Thursday.
Hey, Mike,
gotcha,
I wanted to ask you,
and I want to give you a call.
In court? Did your boy end up doing anything and getting out of that stuff he had trouble with when he went out there with the fire thing? And he was talking to David. Did he get that straightened out?
He's just been so busy with all these other cases, it's kind of on the back burner for him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Plus, he's had other things he's doing. He's been working on my dad's swamp buggy over the last couple months, because there's film crews that use my dad's buggy. Just yesterday, actually, for the first time, I finally met him myself, Troy Landry, the guy on Swamp People.
Yeah.
I know who that is. Yeah, I watch that.
Yeah.
You guys got airboats?
That's cool.
Yeah, my dad's got an airboat. My son's been working on my dad's buggy for the last 2 months. He changed the tires out and put some new, airbag shocks and stuff. And so they went out yesterday because they were there. Bruce and Troy were out there, and I got to go out there with them yesterday and meet them.
Aren't those the two guys that have the pallet or whatever? They kind of talk a little funny.
No, that's the two brothers, right, with the gray hair, the older guys. I think.
Yeah.
Tell
your boy this. Oh, I was going to say something. Tell your boy this. The only place that you can put paddles on a tire and go in the water and drive your buggy, there's only one other place you can do that in the world, the desert. Think about that. Dune buggies in the sand run paddle wheels, too.
All right, well, we won't be driving anything if the New World Order gets their way. But anyway, Mike, I got to give you a call about the Republic. I want to talk to you about a couple things after the show here. I'll give you a quick call if you don't mind. All right, guys. Hey, God bless the Republic. Thanks, Mike, for joining us. Thanks, Joe, and then, of course, the 16th. And thanks, American Statesman, for joining us. And then, of course, Lorianne and Laskin there. I appreciate you listening. And I know probably you didn't want to comment too much on the subject. That's fine. But listen, we got to restore our Republic. We've got to come together, work together. We've already been over this a million times. So it's time to start doing what we got to do and putting the legwork in. Enough to, too many words, not enough action. So anyway, God bless everybody. Be safe, and take care of yourself.
Hey, Joe, send me Sarge's stuff.
Okay. All right, I will. I'll call him, too, make sure that's still okay. Yeah, okay. Not a problem. I will. Not a problem at all. Bill Hicks here. Here we go.
All you ever hear about in this country is our differences. That's all the media and the politicians are ever talking about, the things that separate us, things that make us different from one another. That's the way the ruling class operates in any society. They try to divide the rest of the people. They keep the lower and the middle classes fighting with each other so that they, the rich, can run off with all the fucking money. Fairly simple thing, happens to work. Do you know anything different? That's what they're going to talk about. Race, religion, ethnic and national background, jobs, income, education, social status, sexuality, anything you can do, keep us fighting with each other so that they can keep going to the bank. You know how I describe the economic and social classes in this country? The upper class keeps all of the money, pays none of the taxes. The middle class pays all of the taxes, does all of the work. The poor are there just to scare the shit out of the middle class. Keep them showing up at those jobs.
They're all the same. I'll show you politics in America. Here it is, right here. I think the puppet on the right shares my beliefs. I think the puppet on the left is more to my liking. Hey, wait a minute. There's one guy holding up both puppets. Shut up. Go back to bed, America. Your government is in control.
I have this feeling, man, because there's a handful of people actually run everything. That's true. It's provable. I'm not a conspiracy nut. It's provable. Handful, very small elite run and own these corporations, which include the mainstream media. I have this feeling who's ever elected president, like Clinton was, no matter what your promises you promise on the campaign trail, blah, 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 when you win, you go into this smoky room with the 12 industrialist, capitalist scumfucks who got you in there, and you're in this smoky room, and this little film screen comes down, and a big guy in a cigar rolled a film. And it's a shot of the Kennedy assassination from an angle you've never seen before. It looks suspiciously off the grassy knoll. And then the screen goes up, and the lights come up, and they go to the new president. Any questions?
Just what my agenda is. First we bomb Baghdad. You got it.